What if the miracles you have been waiting for are not really far away at all? What if they are already quietly moving toward you right now, traveling gently in your direction, patiently waiting only for one small thing, a quiet shift in the way you choose to feel about yourself? Too often, people quietly spend their whole lives searching far outside of themselves for the big breakthrough they secretly wish for. They hunt for the perfect opportunity to finally show up, the perfect moment to arrive right on time, or the perfect situation to gently open, slowly believing that one distant day life will finally choose them and lift everything at once. But the biggest, most lasting shift never begins in the loud world around you. It begins deep, deep inside you. And if you stay with me here for a quiet minute, this very first idea will quietly sit at the foundation of everything that is about to follow you on this short ride. The very moment you quietly stop seeing yourself as someone who only hopes for miracles far away, and start gently living as someone who naturally expects them to land at your door, your whole inner experience begins to change in a slow, quiet, and very natural way. Your daily thoughts quietly become lighter, your quiet emotions gently become calmer, your hopeful expectations quietly become brighter, and slowly, almost without any effort at all, life gently starts reflecting the brand new person you have already chosen to quietly become. Miracles are not pulled in by desperate, tired longing. They are quietly drawn to calm, steady inner certainty. They are warmly welcomed in by a heart that already quietly believes, a mind that already quietly trusts, and a gentle inner attitude that already lives in quiet gratitude. Today, right now, you are warmly invited to step gently into that calm, settled, steady state. Quietly leave behind the old, tired identity that quietly expects disappointment at every turn, and gently embrace the quiet identity that naturally receives warm blessings without surprise. As you quietly listen, allow every gentle word here to remind you of a simple, quiet truth that has always been quietly living within you all along. You were not made to chase miracles like a tired hunter. You were made to quietly become naturally magnetic to them. Quietly open your busy mind, gently settle your loud doubts, and calmly prepare to quietly discover what becomes possible when you begin honestly living from the calm, steady certainty that extraordinary, beautiful things are already quietly on their way to your life. Now take one quiet, easy breath with me right here, because this next idea is really the soft key that quietly unlocks everything else we are about to explore. Have you quietly wondered why some people gently seem to attract extraordinary opportunities everywhere they quietly go, while warm doors quietly open for them at just the right gentle moment? The right people appear right when they are quietly needed, and unexpected warm blessings quietly arrive without a long, hard fight, while others quietly spend years chasing the very same results with very little to quietly show for it? It feels very easy to gently say these gentle souls are simply favored by quiet life. But miracles are not quietly reserved for a chosen special few. They are quietly drawn to a particular state of mind, and unless your quiet mind willingly enters that gentle state, the loud outer world quietly keeps sending the very same old ordinary patterns right back to you again and again. Long before your busy days can quietly become magnetic to miracles, you must first quietly become the steady person who naturally expects miracles to gently show up. Everything that quietly appears in your loud outer world quietly begins with the inner story you quietly choose to accept about who you quietly are. Long before any outer situation gently changes on the outside, the quiet picture of yourself you carry quietly on the inside gently shapes every single experience you quietly attract into your ordinary day. If you quietly see yourself as someone who is constantly being overlooked, gentle life will quietly keep presenting quiet moments that quietly seem to confirm that tired old belief. If you gently see yourself as someone who quietly expects cold disappointment at every turn, your quiet attention will naturally hover briefly over quiet obstacles rather than over gentle new openings. Your quiet sense of self quietly acts like a steady magnet, gently drawing in quiet experiences that quietly match the soft story you quietly keep telling yourself, hour after quiet hour. Many quiet people unknowingly quietly carry a quiet inner identity quietly rooted in gentle limitation. They wake up quietly expecting another very ordinary day. They quietly assume problems will quietly appear, delays will quietly repeat, and small chances will quietly slip past them once again. These quiet, familiar expectations quietly become so comfortable that they are very rarely even gently questioned. Yet every quiet expectation is quietly like a soft, invisible instruction gently handed to quiet life in advance. The busy mind quietly begins searching for quiet proof that gently supports what it already quietly believes, and before very long, quiet reality gently appears to confirm those quiet assumptions right on time. It is not because quiet life quietly works against these gentle souls. It is simply because their quiet inner identity has quietly become aligned with gentle limitation rather than with calm, steady possibility. Now quietly imagine choosing an entirely different identity for yourself, starting right now. Imagine gently waking up tomorrow and quietly seeing yourself as someone who is clearly guided, warmly supported, quietly favored, and gently surrounded by endless, beautiful possibilities. Imagine gently believing that unexpected warm blessings can quietly appear at any completely ordinary moment, and that every brand new day quietly holds the soft potential for something truly remarkably good. At first, this may quietly feel a little unfamiliar because it gently challenges the old, tired patterns of quiet thinking you have quietly held for many long years. But every quietly new identity gently feels a little strange until it is gently practiced with patient, steady, kind repetition. What once quietly seemed quietly impossible gradually becomes naturally normal through steady, gentle repetition. Think of a simple, quiet magnet for just a moment. A simple magnet does not quietly chase the tiny pieces of metal it gently attracts. It simply quietly carries a quiet inner quality that naturally draws quiet, compatible objects quietly toward itself. In the very same gentle way, your quiet inner world quietly becomes magnetic when it is quietly aligned with calm confidence, soft gratitude, quiet expectation, and steady inner certainty. You do not quietly need to loudly push miracles into your busy life. You simply quietly cultivate the gentle inner climate that naturally welcomes them quietly in. The more you quietly identify with warm abundance rather than quiet lack, with gentle possibility rather than cold fear, and with quiet faith rather than anxious doubt, the more your quiet outer life quietly begins reflecting those very same qualities quietly back to you in quiet, surprising, gentle ways. This is exactly why your quiet, daily inner conversations quietly matter so very much. And please quietly stay with me through this gentle part because it lightly ties directly into the next idea coming right up. Quietly listen, really listen, to the small, quiet words you softly repeat to yourself quietly throughout the entire day. Are you often quietly saying to yourself, "Nothing ever quietly works out for me"? Or do you quietly affirm, "Quiet life is always gently unfolding in my warm favor"? Are you quietly expecting delays, quiet disappointments, and small setbacks? Or are you quietly expecting gentle openings, warm breakthroughs, and joyful little surprises? These very quiet inner conversations are constantly quietly strengthening your inner sense of self, gentle moment by gentle moment. Over quiet time, they quietly become the steady foundation upon which your quiet everyday experience is gently built. Your quiet inner identity is also quietly revealed in the gentle way you quietly respond to small, everyday challenges. When small, quiet difficulties quietly appear along your gentle path, do you quietly immediately assume the very worst? Or do you quietly, calmly believe that every quiet challenge quietly carries the gentle seed of something far greater than itself? A quiet person who quietly sees themselves as magnetic to miracles does not quietly pretend that real obstacles do not exist. They quietly believe that every obstacle is gentle and temporary, and that gentle solutions are quietly already on their gentle way. This quiet inner confidence keeps them quietly aligned with bright possibilities that cold fear would otherwise quietly hide from their gentle view. One of the gentlest, most important shifts you can quietly make right now is to gently stop defining your own precious self by your past quiet experiences. Yesterday's quiet disappointments are not your quiet identity. Previous quiet failures are not your quiet identity. Temporary quiet lack is not your quiet identity. Those were gentle experiences, not the quiet definition of who you truly, quietly are. Every new, fresh day offers a gentle invitation to quietly choose a brand new story for your quiet life. Quietly remember this one thing clearly: today, miracles are not random, loud accidents that quietly happen only to a few faraway, lucky people. They are the quiet, natural expression of a quietly transformed inner state. When you quietly begin to see yourself as someone who is quietly worthy of warm blessings, openly welcoming of gentle opportunities, and quietly aligned with the highest bright possibilities, your entire quiet outlook quietly begins to gently shift right before your quiet eyes. You gently walk with a little more quiet confidence softly in your gentle step. You softly speak with a little more quiet hope quietly in your quiet voice. You quietly expect good things without a single quiet flutter of fearful anxiety. And as this brand new, gentle identity quietly becomes your normal, everyday way of gently moving through the day, quiet life gently begins responding in quiet, remarkable, surprising, and warm, beautiful ways. So if you truly, quietly wish to quietly become magnetic to quiet miracles, do not quietly begin by searching for them somewhere far outside of yourself. Quietly begin by gently transforming the quiet person gently living within. Quietly choose an identity gently rooted in faith, calm confidence, soft gratitude, and quiet expectation. Quietly hold quietly, but firmly, to that brand new quiet self-image every single ordinary day. For the quiet outer world can only ever gently reflect the soft person you quietly, consistently believe yourself to quietly be. And when your gentle inner identity quietly shifts at last, quiet miracles no longer quietly feel quietly extraordinary. They quietly become a warm, natural, everyday part of your daily quiet life. So stay a little longer with me, because the next part gently changes how you quietly use your imagination every single day now. One of the deepest, quietest secrets to gently transforming your quiet life is quietly learning to gently think and quietly feel from the quiet, warm fulfillment of your gentle desire, instead of quietly longing for it as though it were always permanently far away. Most quiet people quietly spend their busy days quietly hoping that one day their quiet miracle will finally quietly arrive at last. They quietly pray for better quiet circumstances, quietly wish for greater warm opportunities, and quietly wait for some quiet, visible sign that life is finally gently turning in their warm favor. But while they quietly wait, they quietly continue thinking from a quiet place of quiet lack. They quietly remind themselves of what they do not quietly yet have, and without ever realizing it at all, they quietly remain tied to the very reality they quietly wish to gently leave behind. The quiet turning point quietly comes the moment you quietly stop living as someone who is quietly still patiently waiting for a quiet miracle, and gently begin living as someone who has already quietly received it with a warm, grateful, settled heart. Every warm, visible outer result quietly begins as an invisible inner assumption. Before anything quiet can appear in your outer world, it must first quietly become quietly real within your inner awareness. This is exactly why your gentle imagination is far, far more powerful than your present quiet circumstances. The quiet world you quietly see today is often the gentle reflection of yesterday's quiet, dominant thoughts and quiet feelings. If you quietly keep dwelling in the gentle feeling of quiet waiting, quiet tomorrow will quietly keep reflecting more quiet reasons to keep quietly waiting. But if you quietly begin accepting the warm feeling that your quiet desire has quiet already been fulfilled, you quietly create an entirely fresh foundation from which your gentle future quiet experiences can quietly emerge. Imagine gently receiving the warm news you have quietly been hoping for in your quiet heart. Imagine the gentle wave of warm relief, soft gratitude, and quiet joy that would quietly, naturally fill your heart in that very quiet moment. Quietly notice how different your gentle thoughts would quietly feel in an instant. You would no longer quietly wonder whether it was quietly really possible, because it would quietly already be yours. You would no longer quietly spend your quiet energy quietly worrying about how it would gently happen, because the warm outcome would quietly already be settled in your quiet heart. That quiet feeling is the gentle inner state you are quietly invited to gently occupy right now, even before your quiet physical senses quietly confirm it on the quiet outer world. Many quiet people quietly believe this is simply quiet pretending, but it is something much deeper, much quieter, and far more real than that. It is quietly choosing to gently let your gentle inner experience quietly become far more convincing than any quiet, temporary outer appearance. You are not quietly denying the present gentle moment at all. You are quietly, gently refusing to let your present quiet circumstances quietly define your warm, bright future. You quietly understand that every quiet, great creation quietly exists, first deep within, long before it ever becomes visible quietly without. The unseen always quietly comes gently, slowly, before the seen. Think of a quiet architect quietly designing a beautiful, warm building. Long before the very first brick is gently laid, the entire structure already quietly exists as a complete, steady vision quietly inside the quiet architect's calm mind. Every tiny room, every quiet window, and every gentle detail is quietly mentally established long before quiet construction quietly ever begins. In the very same gentle way, your quiet miracle must first gently become completed quietly inside your own calm awareness. Once you quietly accept it deeply within, quiet life quietly begins gently arranging the small visible details that quietly bring your quiet miracle quietly into gentle physical expression, one gentle step at a time. This quiet, gentle shift quietly changes the quiet way you quietly move through each and every brand new day. Instead of quietly waking up with soft anxiety, quietly wondering if today will finally quietly bring your gentle breakthrough, you quietly wake up with calm, steady confidence, because quietly in your quiet heart, the gentle breakthrough has already quietly happened deep. Instead of quietly speaking about your quiet problems, you gently begin quietly speaking with warm gratitude for the quiet life you already quietly know is gently unfolding all around you. Instead of quietly reacting to quiet delays with quiet frustration, you quietly remain quietly, peacefully calm, because you quietly understand that what has quietly already been quietly accepted within cannot quietly fail to quietly find its gentle expression in the quiet outer world. There will be quiet moments when quiet outer appearances quietly try to quietly convince you that nothing at all has quietly changed yet. Old, quiet, familiar circumstances may quietly still be quietly present. Familiar old quiet challenges may quietly still gently arise. In those quiet moments, quietly remember clearly that quiet appearances are often just the gentle final echoes of previous quiet assumptions. Do not quietly let them pull you right back into heavy doubt. Continue gently returning to the warm feeling of quiet inner fulfillment. Continue quietly seeing yourself as the calm, quiet person whose quiet prayer has already been warmly answered with a grateful, quiet heart. The more naturally this gentle feeling quietly becomes within you, the more firmly you quietly establish your brand new, settled, quiet state of inner awareness. Quietly living as though your quiet miracle has quietly already happened, also quietly, gently transforms your quiet everyday decisions. You quietly begin making small choices from quiet confidence instead of from quiet fear. You quietly stop quietly delaying your quiet happiness until some faraway future event quietly arrives. You quietly appreciate each and every quiet day because you quietly know you are already quietly living in the gentle direction of your fulfilled desire. This quiet inner certainty quietly creates a calm, gentle expectancy that naturally quietly attracts warm opportunities, fresh ideas, and bright relationships, quietly aligned with your brand new, quiet inner reality. Quietly remember this single warm truth today. Miracles are not quietly created through endless tired wishing. They are quietly, gently revealed through unwavering, steady, calm acceptance. The gentle moment you quietly stop quietly identifying as someone who is quietly still waiting, and gently begin quietly identifying as someone who has already quietly received, everything quietly begins to gently shift in and around you. Your gentle thoughts quietly become far more peaceful. Your quiet words quietly become far more hopeful. Your quiet daily actions quietly become far more confident, and your quiet outer life gently begins reflecting the calm, steady inner certainty you now quietly carry gently within. So right now, gently release the quiet, old, tired habit of waiting. Quietly stop unnecessarily postponing your quiet happiness until quiet outer circumstances quietly change. Quietly assume that your quiet miracle has already quietly happened somewhere deep inside you. Gently feel the warm gratitude, the quiet inner peace, and the steady, quiet confidence that quietly naturally belong to that warm, living reality. Quietly walk through each brand new day with the calm, quiet assurance that what you have quietly accepted in your quiet inner awareness is already gently finding its quiet way into your visible outer world. For when you quietly live from the calm, quiet end, instead of quietly striving toward it from a distance, quiet miracles no longer quietly feel far, far away. They quietly become the warm, natural, everyday, gentle expression of the quiet life you have already quietly chosen deep within. Quiet fear quietly carries one quiet, remarkable, sneaky ability. It gently convinces you to quietly place your quiet attention on absolutely everything you do not want at all. Quiet fear quietly whispers that warm opportunities are very, very limited, that soft success quietly belongs to someone else entirely, that your gentle, precious dreams are simply far, far too far away from you, or that your calm, quiet past has already quietly determined your quiet, entire future. The more quietly you listen to soft fear, the more your busy mind quietly begins softly searching for tiny evidence to quietly support it. Before very long, every quiet challenge begins quietly feeling larger than it actually truly is. Every quiet delay begins quietly feeling permanently stuck in one place, and every tiny setback quietly begins gently appearing as a quiet, sure sign that your deepest, sweetest desire will never quietly come to pass. Yet quiet fear quietly carries no real, quiet, creative power of its own. It quietly only gains gentle influence when you quietly choose to accept it as quiet truth quietly inside your warm heart. The very moment you quietly choose to gently release quiet fear, you quietly create wide, open space for warm, gentle possibility to quietly enter your calm, quiet awareness. Every quiet miracle quietly begins with a gentle, small shift in quiet inner focus. It is simply impossible to quietly, consistently expect extraordinary, warm results while quietly, constantly imagining cold, negative outcomes silently inside your busy mind. Your quiet awareness cannot quietly dwell in gentle fear and gentle faith, all at the very same moment. One quiet inner state will quietly, slowly become stronger than the other one. This is exactly why the gentle quality of your quiet inner attention is so very, very important. Whatever you quietly, repeatedly focus upon, it quietly becomes the gentle atmosphere in which your warm, precious life gently unfolds. If you quietly, continually imagine gentle obstacles, you quietly become emotionally tied to soft, quiet limitation. But if you consistently, quietly imagine warm opportunities, gentle solutions, and favorable, bright outcomes, you quietly begin quietly aligning yourself with a quiet, entirely different, brighter sense of everyday reality. Think of quiet fear as a quiet, thick, soft fog gently covering a beautiful, wide, open landscape around you. The quiet, distant mountains, the gentle, flowing rivers, and the warm, soft sunlight have not quietly disappeared at all. They are quietly, simply hidden quietly from view for a little while. In the very same gentle way, warm possibilities do not quietly vanish just because quiet fear briefly appears in your mind. They quietly remain gently present, patiently waiting for the calm, quiet fog to quietly lift. The very moment your quiet awareness quietly shifts from anxious, quiet worry to quiet, steady trust, you quietly begin noticing warm opportunities that were quiet, always gently there all along. Fresh ideas quietly become clearer inside your gentle mind. Warm, quiet inspiration quietly arrives unexpectedly, like a soft breeze. Gentle doors that once quietly felt completely invisible quietly suddenly become obvious. Warm paths quietly right in front of you. The quiet outer world itself has not quietly changed at all. Your quiet, gentle perception of it has quietly, gently changed. Many quiet people quietly and unknowingly rehearse quiet fear every single ordinary day. They quietly imagine difficult, awkward conversations that may quietly end very poorly. They quietly anticipate cold rejection long before it ever quietly happens. They quietly expect heavy failure before even quietly taking the very first tiny, gentle step. They quietly worry about quiet events that never actually quietly occur at all. These repeated, quiet mental rehearsals quietly become so familiar that they quietly begin quietly shaping daily quiet expectations. The gentle mind quietly accepts them as completely normal, and quiet life often quietly reflects those quiet, gentle expectations quietly right back through every quiet, everyday experience. This is not because quiet fear is somehow more powerful than warm, gentle faith. It is simply because quiet attention quietly gives gentle energy to whatever it quietly, repeatedly embraces quietly within. So now that we have gently moved through the fog of fear, let us quietly move forward together into the gentle idea of bright, magnetic expectation, which gently shifts everything even more in the coming minutes. Now gently imagine quietly replacing those fearful, tired mental rehearsals with brand new, gentler, warmer ones. Quietly imagine yourself gently succeeding quietly where you once quietly expected gentle failure. Quietly imagine yourself quietly receiving wonderful, unexpected, warm news instead of persistent disappointment. Quietly imagine yourself quietly walking calmly and very confidently through ordinary everyday situations that once quietly made you feel deeply heavy and anxious inside. Gently see yourself gently smiling because everything has quietly unfolded even better than you quietly, peacefully expected. These gentle mental images are not gentle fantasies quietly meant to quietly escape your present real reality. They are quiet, gentle seeds quietly planted in your inner awareness. As you quietly return to them gently day after quiet day, they quietly begin gently replacing old, tired patterns of quiet fear with brand new patterns of calm, quiet confidence and bright, warm, quiet expectation. Quietly releasing quiet fear also gently means quietly letting go of the quiet, tight need to gently control every single tiny outcome. Quiet fear constantly whispers, what if something quietly goes terribly, terribly wrong? Gentle, warm faith quietly responds, what if everything quietly works out even far better than I could possibly imagine in my wildest hopes? Quiet fear loudly demands perfect certainty before quietly taking any warm, inspired action. Gentle faith quietly creates quiet certainty by quietly choosing steady trust long before the outer evidence quietly appears on the outside. When you quietly release your quiet need to gently predict every small, tiny step along the way in advance, you quietly allow quiet life to surprise you in quiet ways that your old, limited thinking could never have quietly planned on its own. One of the gentle, clearest, quiet signs that you are quietly, slowly becoming quietly magnetic to warm possibility is the deep, peaceful, quiet calm you quietly carry, settled deep within. Deep, quiet peace is not the quiet absence of outer challenges. It is the quiet, steady presence of inner confidence despite them all. A quiet, peaceful inner person does not quietly panic when circumstances quietly, temporarily seem unfavorable. They quietly remain gently, warmly grounded because they quietly know that quiet outer appearances are not the quiet final truth of quiet life. They quietly trust that every quiet challenge quietly contains a quiet, unseen, warm opportunity, and that every quietly closed door is quietly, gently guiding them quietly toward an even better one just ahead.